Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today is Monday, so it is our miscellaneous Monday. It's also a day when we've got some pretty nasty weather coming in. I don't know if any of y'all are in the path of Miss Debbie, the hurricane's coming through, but if you are, hope you're staying safe. We're in the path of it, but we won't get the real nasty stuff, just the tropical storm rains and a little bit of wind. Hopefully nothing too serious, but anyway, like I said, hope anybody who actually is in the path and has some real danger is staying safe right now. But that said, let's get into our games here and get moving, because I would like to get this thing out before I might lose power. So we've got Wordle, Dordle, and Quordle, and I will be messing with our layouts here as I go through them, because I try not to put ads on here if I don't have to, but sometimes they're so obnoxious that they have to be. So let's get into our Wordle. I'm assuming everyone remembers Wordle, Dordle, and Quordle and how to play, so I'm just going to jump right into it and not go too much into our rules. So let's get started. Go away. And like I said, stupid ads. So we're going to start with our typical Crane and Pious. Do I want to go into the Pious now? I'm going to do it, because I think there's a possibility of S's in here and maybe another vowel. There is both of those. So that's an interesting grouping of letters. We've got a UE at the end, like that. And we've got an S and an N. In Sue, could be a double E. It's very possible. NS works very well. Hey, it's in Sue. We got lucky. Thank goodness I did the Pious one, because I could have sat there forever trying to figure that one out. So that was a quick Wordle. Let's get into Dordle. Now this ad's gonna be here, I think, because I can't really move it around too much. So let's go into our daily, and we'll start similarly. Now this one, since I have 2 greens already, I think I'm gonna stick with that and not necessarily go into the Pious word. And just in case I've never said this, the reason I do Crane and Pious, because they're 10 completely different letters, and it uses all of the vowels except for Y. So it seems like the best start for my purposes. But anyway, Crane, we got A and E on the second one. We got R and E on the first one. R and E are not in the correct locations. That's probably like an ER type of word. So what would be a good... Well, we just talked about maybe our power could go out. So let's give that a try. It was ER. Okay. We did not get P. There's an O anywhere, and W's not really a great vowel, but I thought it was topical, so that's why I guessed it. Well, what else can we do? How about something like for Glade for the second word there, because that will have our A and E. It gives us a G, L, and a D possibilities. L and D are good. G's not necessarily, but we'll see what happens. Wow, absolutely nothing out of those. So what would be... So something A-M-E would work, something A-T-E would work. But what would be the 2 starting letters? There's not a lot left in terms of consonants that you can put together into a double consonant start, unless it's just something like state. I'll give it a try, because T's could be good, and S is always a good one to go with. K, so it does have an S to start. I'm running out of guesses here pretty quickly, and I'm not getting anything out of it. So what could this possibly be? S something A something E. Oh, it could be shake. That's one possibility. Let's think about this for a second before jumping into another one. Because H and K aren't the greatest letters for anything else, but I don't see anything else that's kind of jumping out at me in terms of what these words could be. So let's just do shake. It could have been shave. This is not good. This is not good at all. I made some bad guesses here. It could be shave, it could be shame. There's so many things I could have done better than this. Okay, we're gonna have to switch gears and look on the left side and use a bunch of letters. Because we only have an E and an R on that side, so we have to have new letters. How about fiber? Does that, see, the problem with that word, while it does work for the first one, it doesn't give us, well, it looks at share, but it doesn't do anything with shave or shame. So if this is correct, fiber, what it leaves me, it could technically be fiver as well. But I have to guess what I think this is because I only have 2 guesses left. So I'm gonna say fiber is much more likely than fiver. Fixer is also a possibility. So I put myself into a hole here. I'm gonna do fiber and hope it's right. It wasn't right at all, and it wasn't even an I. Man, and I got nothing for the other one. So this is a fail, but let's see if we can at least get one of the 2. So it's either shave or shame. What can the other one be? Oh, it could have been fever. Double E. I didn't think about doing a double E. Well, let's do fever. And if it's a V in that second one, I'm going to be very annoyed. It was. Oh, all I had to do was just guess fever, and I would have gotten it on those 2. That's a shame, but oh well, you sometimes don't. Let's go into Quordle, and I'm going to shift this a bit so that we can not see. It's kind of way off on the side, but I hate putting ads on these things. I don't want those on this, so it might look a little bit off in terms of what we got going on here, but I'd rather it look like that than having ads showing. So we're just going to run with it, and it's going to be what it's going to be. So again, Crane worked out pretty well. In this case, I am going to use Pious because we got absolutely nothing on number 4. So I would call this 1, 2, or number 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we got no vowels on 1 either. So it's most likely, I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to get a couple more letters by guessing this. Okay, and that did not come out as well as I thought it might. So we have a U up on number 1. So it's probably going to be something, I would think, I don't know this is as absolutely correct, but double consonant, vowel, double consonant would be my guess. Now, the fact that we got absolutely nothing except for the I on that bottom left one is kind of interesting. What can we even put in there? I mean, we could still have a Y somewhere. So that is a possibility. Now, we can start doing kind of what we did last time. Blame is a good guess for number 4. B isn't all that amazing, but L and M are usually very good, so let's give it a go. So it is an LA something E word, and we do get an A up in 2, or an L up in 2, so that's good. Again, absolutely nothing down on 3 here. What can this one be? I wonder if something like tight would be a good guess. I mean, T is a great letter to guess. G and H aren't amazing, but getting rid of G and H, if those are not possibilities, would really reduce what can actually be in any of these other ones. So I'm going to go tight. What the heck is going on in number 3? It's got to be like a double consonant or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of that would work. With a Y, it would also be like IDDY. I don't think any of those words would work with that. Like the only thing I can even look at that seems like it might possibly be a word is kiddy, Kiddy, but I don't think that's correct. So what do we got going here? What is there anything else we can do? Like on the top one, number 1, I should say, it seems like CHU would be a really good word to put those 3 given letters into something. Oh, the problem is it could be Chuck, which is a double C, which I don't really want to do. I don't want to get into the same situation I had on the Dordle. Maybe the answer here is to use as many new letters as possible and just get those out there. So how can I do that? Man, I'm struggling to think of good words that use like D, F, Y, and like a J or a K. The wind is starting to kick up here already. That's not good. What the heck could this be? I'm just trying to think of a word, any word that uses at least 3 of our letters that we have not guessed yet. And I would prefer to try to get the Y, F, and D as the options. I mean, if we're talking about slang, we do fitty, you know, like, but that's not a word, apparently. Oh, it'll actually tell me if it's a word or not. So kitty is considered a word. That's interesting. Not that I necessarily want to use that, but I can't think of anything good here that uses those. I think kitty is the best chance I have because it does try the D and the Y and K. I don't really like K, but it's possible the K could be on number 4 with LAKE or something like that. So let's give it a go. Okay, so it is on 4. There is LAKE, so that's got to be like flake. Yeah, that has to be flake. There can't be anything else there. We do end up with... Okay, so we do have a K up in number 1, so Chuck is probably correct there. My guess is do we have left 4? That's not good, because that means I've got to guess every single one of them correct again. Great. So if I have to do that, let's just put them in as what I think has to be right. So that is Chuck. This is going to have to be flake. We do have an F in number 3. So it has to be, oh, it's going to be jiffy, isn't it? In a jiffy. Okay, that is correct. Now we have to guess this last one without screwing it up. It's got an I in second. It's got an A and an L. And we know nothing else about it. What could it be? Just trying to think of anything. So like L-I something. Lilac? No, we've already used the C. Is it possible it could be a double L? I guess, but it would have to be something like that. Or villa. Villa could be a really good guess. There's just so few letters left. As you can see, we only got Q, W, Z, X, and V. The rest of them would have to be, or we could also use a repeat letter, as in villa. I can't think of anything else that fits this except for villa, so let's give it a go and see what happens. It was villa. We did it. Holy heck. We had 4 guesses to make, and we had to make all of them, and we did. Awesome. Cool. Anyway, that's where I'm going to stop it. I know it's pretty quick episode today. Like I said, I'm trying to get this thing out and done so I can focus on a couple of other things around the house. But hope you all enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Stay safe out there.